1:19-21. The two women went on together to Bethlehem. Now Bethlehem was the home of Naomi. We see that in the early part of chapter 1 where it talks about them being from Bethlehem. So they go back home. And she had nothing really left in Moab. So there's no point for her to return home. But Ruth returns with her. And so Naomi's going back to everything she knows, and Ruth is going to something she's never known. There that she knows is Naomi, who's in a state of depression, which we see here. News of their arrival spread throughout Bethlehem. In fact, the whole community was humming with the report, with the women exclaiming, "Could it really be the same Naomi who left us long ago?" So they're so excited to finally think, okay, Naomi's back. Naomi's back. They're overcome with happiness because of this. And this shows that Naomi had a good reputation and her family was loving. The people who knew her so long ago was loving and missed her. You know, this would have been similar to like going to a reunion of some sort where your old friends you catch up with, people you haven't seen in years, and you see how they've changed, but you see what they're doing, and you catch up and you just talk for a long time. Verse 20. Don't call me Naomi ever again, for I am no longer pleasant. Call me Mara instead, for I am filled with bitterness because of the High One. Because the Lord has treated me, the High One, the Lord, has treated me bitterly. So she is in a state of depression. First off, she's saying the Lord caused this. No, the Lord allowed it. Death is a part of life due to sin. Her family is going to pass away anyway. It just happened they passed before she. Also, she thinks she's all left alone, which is a sign of depression. Very common in depression. That she don't think God's there for her, and she don't think anybody else is. She don't even know who she is really anymore. Also, so she's in a really bad spot, but she ain't realizing how God's helping her, and it's God sending Ruth with her. Ruth was willing to give up everything she knew to stand by Naomi. Naomi wasn't seeing what Ruth was doing for her. I left this place full in spite of famine, but the Eternal One has brought me back empty from a plentiful land. So what's happened is she's referring to her family. She left with a full family, and now she's returning without a family. But she returns with Ruth. She's returning with Ruth. And because of the way she's saying things, it's gotta kind of hurt Ruth's feelings that she's doing this in the first place. It's oftentimes during our signs of depression that those closest to us are those we tend to push away the most, or not even acknowledge they're there when they're trying to be there for us. Why would you call me pleasant? Now, obviously, this is what Naomi means. Mara means bitterness. When the Eternal, the Lord, has testified against me, and the Highest One, the Lord God, has brought me disaster upon me. Now, God allowed it to be brought upon her, but God did not bring it upon her. God also gave her what she stood in need of to get through it. Ruth was going to do everything she could to help Naomi through this. God don't just send a trial our way and be like, well, there's it, figure it out. No, God gives us what we need to stand against it and get through it. It's our place to seek Him and find what it is He's given us to get through it. Sometimes it ain't a prayer for it to go away. Sometimes it's strength to get through it. Because once we get through it, the Lord's going to change us into something He wants us to be more than what we are now. And what we become, He isn't going to rob us of. So it's worth us struggling to get there. We just got to rely on Him to get through it. And the friends He gives us. And those close to us He gives us. Sometimes it's family.